We bought this Ford Focus ST knowing that this had gone through a police auction.
And because of that, the car came with no service history.
And as this only made 187 brake horsepower on the rolling road, we've had to start stripping it apart. And once we started removing the engine covers to gain access to the turbo, we could see that the cam belt on the car looked like the original factory belt. And as the car has done 130,000+ miles, knowing what kind of life it's had, not changing the cam belt now could be catastrophic, as this belt drives the engine and needs changing roughly every 60,000 miles, as these belts wear, and if it breaks, the engine will seize, which means we'll be stuck with a car we can't use. Alright, so I've never done a cam belt, and mate, please tell me that you've done a cam belt at some point in your life, because...
Good news, I've not. I've done auxiliary belts and stuff, but never done a cam belt.
Well, at least you're wearing the right t-shirt today, so that does fill me with some confidence at least.
I don't need to try any harder ever, mate.
Exactly. And yeah, we're really doing this because we don't have to rely on having a stamp in the book, because we haven't got one, so that doesn't matter. We have no service history with the car whatsoever, and we just really want to see how hard it is to do a cam belt, because it's something that you usually take your car to a garage to get done, and
it's always a few £100 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but
save some of that.
I do know that if this does go wrong, it can go really wrong.
And mate, I've got my penknife.
This is my jungle parang.
Oh, well, that's good.
My cam belt removing tool.
Actually, talking about that, there's not really anything I don't think I haven't seen this penknife do.
Everyone takes the mickey out of it, but it saved the day.
I think I need one.
Yeah, you do? No,
Yeah.
no, because then no one will need me. Anyway.
Actually, get your penknife out.
Why?
Because we've got something down here.
We've got new parts.
Oh no, actually, yeah, no, don't open it.
I won't.
We can show these guys what is in the box later on in the video. But before we remove the cam belt, we need to remove the auxiliary belts, which sit at the bottom right side of the engine. There are two belts, and the first one I'm removing here powers the aircon pump. These belts are held in place by a tensioner, so by taking the tension out of it using a socket allows me to remove the belt. And to get the second auxiliary belt out, I need to remove the tensioner from the engine, as the belt sits behind this. I then do the same on the second belt with taking the tension off the belt. Yeah, you will need to get to the top just to pull that out off the top of the alternator. And you might have guessed that this belt drives the alternator. Alright. You got it over the wheel?
Yep.
You should be able to just pull it down this way, no?
Yeah.
Woohoo. So now the auxiliary belt's out, we need to get the car down on the ramp to support the engine using the axle stand and a piece of wood, as we need to take the engine mount out. But before we do that, we need to take the coolant reservoir out first to get easier access into the engine mount. Go on. Yeah, keep going, bit more, bit more, bit more, bit more, a little bit more, bit more. Yep. Oh, one more. Yep. Is that your trust the penknife? Noise. Once you yell, first on it, and then we'll take it off.
Yeah.
So what? They just push up, pull up.
Definitely want a screwdriver.
No, just pull it up, look.
What?
You just pull it up.
Got it.
I think so. Maybe not this one. Oh yeah, I have, yeah. Woo! There we go. Well, that can just sit out of the way, look. Cool.
The engine moved.
Did it move, did it?
Yeah.
Was that supposed to happen? So my suspicions are true. I think that this is broken. I said to you, didn't I, when we was on the rolling road, that it just looked like the engine moved a lot. Well, that's the answer.
Two-part engine mounts.
Yeah.
Floating engine mounts, I think they're called, aren't they? Yeah, it's definitely broken though. You can sort of see where it's, as I said earlier, it's ripped apart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Put it on the order list.
And as we've now got to buy an engine mount, it's just another cost to our list as I've been writing this all down. So we're going to tally it all up and we're going to see exactly how much this is costing us so far. The car has cost us £1,900. We've got the service, cam belt, water pump kit and that, which we're now fitting, which we got for £200. Bearing in mind we are trying to keep this at a budget as well, trying to do this on the cheap. We've got a second-hand intercooler, although it's basically new, and trying to find these things for cheap is just literally near on impossible. We managed to blag one for £200. We've sent the turbo off to be refurbished. That's going to roughly cost us £326. And now a new engine mount on the top of that is £89, which gives us a grand total of £2,715 at the minute. We now think that we need to order a new turbo solenoid, as well as waiting to hear back from the guys who are refurbishing the turbo to let us know whether or not we need a new turbo actuator, and also with whatever else we find wrong with this car, we're trying to at least get this back to standard horsepower, although we do. Our goal is roughly 300 brake horsepower. I don't think we're going to quite hit 300, but that's the goal in mind. So, I mean, yeah, at the minute, I dread to think what that figure is going to end up on that board by the time we finish with this car. But we don't need to worry about that right now. Let's get back to fitting this cam belt. With the auxiliary belts and the engine mount now off, we need to time up the engine. And you do this by lining up the timing marks on the cams by turning the lower crankshaft pulley until the marks on the cams and on the engine block all line up. Luckily for us, this has been done before, so someone has already found top dead centre and put the marks in place where they need to be. Once these marks all line up, we can undo the big nut on the lower pulley and remove it.
Oh, yes.
We then had to loosen off the cam belt tensioner, which sits right behind the chassis leg, which then meant we could remove the cam belt, and this should just slide off. One cam belt, which actually doesn't really look all that bad. But we're still going to replace it anyway, just for peace of mind. We then remove the tensioner and the water pump, as the pump is also driven by the cam belt, and replacing these is very common when replacing a cam belt. They're just not the easiest things to remove with where they're placed.
How is it engineers can design stuff that are supposed to be easily replaced to just not come out?
But we weren't giving up.
I guess we're going to have to drop the engine a bit. Oh, hold on.
Until eventually... Hey!
Oh, look at that, it's a bit rusty in there, isn't it? Weird, 'cause it doesn't look that old, does it?
And this could be due to possibly a few reasons. One, that someone has put the wrong antifreeze in the car at some point. Or two, that the reservoir cap is leaking air, which is mixing with the water and causing part of the pump to rust. But for now, we just need to get the cam belt back on so that we don't risk moving any of the cams with doing anything else to the car. And to do this, we do what we just done, but in reverse. We fitted the new cam belt roller, which come part of the kit. We fitted the new water pump, the new tensioner, and then put the new belt in place. And on the block of the engine, there's a guide for how far you need to take the tensioner, which should allow just the right amount of slack to be left in the belt. And I'd say that looks pretty good. Hopefully we've got this right and the cam belt's on and all in the right place and it hasn't skipped any teeth and moved.
Has or hasn't?
I don't know. I guess we're about to find out, so hopefully we can turn this over and it turns over and is fine. Sweet, I'd say that's success at the minute. We're not really going to know until it's all back together and
Starts.
we start it up.
Yeah. But no clattery noises.
Yeah, no banging.
No, which is good.
It's looking good so far. We do have to get the auxiliary belts back on it, which we're not going to do just yet because we didn't order them, so we're going to get a couple of them and sling on it. So yeah, we're going to wait for them. So I think it's time now we go and open up that box and show this lot what we've got in store for the ST. Right, so it's a big box. And I'll be honest, mate, when this first turned up, I was a little bit sceptical of whether this thing in the box is actually going to fit or not. But
I reckon we can fit. I reckon I could fit in it. The box, that is.
I reckon you'd be close to getting in the box.
I've got to get it out. I'm just so excited to get this on. So we have a Focus RS intercooler AirTech.
I mean, it looked like you struggled to pick it up, mate.
It's a little bit heavy.
It is a bit heavy, but yeah, I mean, what a bit of kit. And what is it? AirTech?
AirTech, yeah.
AirTech. So, I mean, these things are not cheap, are they?
They're mad expensive, aren't they? And actually, do you know what? A massive thank you to Keith Stapleton, who sorted us out for a really decent price on this. So
yeah. What is it? K3FUS, Keith, over on the RS Owners Club forum, and yeah, he's done us a banging deal on it.
Serious legend, Keith. Nice one. Really appreciate it.
Nice one. Cheers, mate.
So we've just got hoses to figure out, haven't we? So
yeah, hoses, and yeah, it's more or less like a direct bolt-on bit, really, isn't it?
And see if it actually does fit. Apparently, it does.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting this on, actually.
Yeah.
And with chasing 300 horsepower with the car, which I'm hoping we're going to get.
It's going to help.
Yeah,
massive help.
Hopefully it's going to get us there. And so yeah, we're just literally waiting for the turbo and the manifold to come back now. That's still over at Courtney's. So hopefully in the next video we're going to be getting the turbo manifold back on this, bolting this thing back or up to the car as well, and getting this thing just a tad more closer to getting this back down to Courtney's, back on the rolling road.
Seeing some big numbers.
And yeah, hopefully 300 horsepower. That's the goal. Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. If you have, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Oh, mate, just itch my nose, would you?